Hello, YouTube followers. Today I'm going to talk about motivation, meditation, and inspiration. If it's not one of the three, I don't want it. So, today my motivation is going to be about how we can start to focus to utilize the knowledge that we have inside of ourselves to become motivated. Now, part of becoming motivated is giving yourself the ability to have time to learn from yourself. Time is nothing less than knowledge. So if we use the knowledge that we have inside of ourselves, we can definitely become motivated to learn. Now, as we become both the student in the classroom as well as the teacher, we can motivate ourselves to become a strong reflection of who we are on the inside. So, how can we, in any situation, give ourselves the ability to elevate our focus so that we can grow inside? Now, some of the ways that we can do that is by writing stuff down, giving ourselves the ability to have time for ourselves each day, putting the right things inside of ourselves, drinking enough water as well as other fluids, and making sure that we are working at our best ability. Now, as we continue to focus, the lessons that we have inside of ourselves are very important. So ask yourself what it is that makes you the strongest reflection of who you are inside. Now, if the question is, who am I? Then we need to start writing stuff down. But if the question is, I am the greatest person inside of myself, then we have to start focusing to grow from within. As we continue to grow from within, the strength will start to become a reflection on the outside through understanding that the things that we enjoy and the lessons that we have learned, the knowledge that we have, give us the ability to become a strong reflection. So when we use things like studying, when we use things like hand-eye coordination, focus, we give ourselves that ability to grow. And constantly growing with ourselves is the most important piece. As we grow from inside, the strength inside of yourself starts to build a reflection. So it starts to come down to how well can I become motivated to focus. Now, as one continues to focus, the world around them will start to work for them and against them at the same time. You have to identify and make the choice that choosing that we're going to choose the positive and actually look at the positivity in all situations to do the best we can with the knowledge that we have inside of ourselves, which is enough to tackle any situation you may have. Now, as you see and you recognize all of this is a part of greatness, this is where you grow from inside. Now, as you grow from inside of you, the external is going to become a strong reflection of who you are. So I want to motivate us all to start building the strength from inside of ourselves to understand the things that we go through in our day, our week, our month, and our year are very important. And the ability to focus gives us the ability to become motivated. Some of those ways you can start to be able to do that are writing stuff down, making sure that you have time for yourself to reflect, to learn from the lessons that you have learned, which are very wonderful and gold to you, giving yourself the ability to sometimes do exercise or to focus to a depth where you are exercising your mind, reading books, listening to motivational speeches such as this one and others, and giving yourself the ability to choose to start to think on positivity. As you think on positivity, you will definitely start to become motivated. The things around you, you'll find are very little that you can actually tackle the tasks, and they look very little compared to how well you can handle them. So the greater you can focus with the knowledge you have inside of yourself, the greater the reflection will become. And so how well one can focus is how strong the external will become. Now, next I'm going to talk about meditation. So, one of the areas of meditation is the thought process. Now, focusing is very much related to the thought process. A lot of the things that we go through in our entire day have to deal with a form of energy known as the yellow energy field. This also has to do with the flower, which has to do with emotion, as well as the elevation to a higher level, which is known as the energy chakra. Now, as we utilize this chakra, we start to understand that who we are is very special. One of the hardest things is to decompress that energy to start to learn from it. It is definitely very possible to start breaking down the yellow energy field. Now, as you start to focus at a greater depth, and as you pass through the energy field of the yellow chakra, you'll start to understand that the strength comes in and that knowledge and focus help in the growth process of oneself to becoming the reflection of who we are. Now, that reflection is very important because when you're in meditation and you're in a place of growth and you're going through the energy field known as the yellow chakra, your thought process has to be broken down and you have to start to understand that things like worry don't affect you. Like things like negativity is a choice. So when you choose to think on positive thoughts and to find the best angle possible, utilization of the yellow energy field is very important for focus for growth. So each energy field is very important. So the yellow energy field helps you to overcome things that might have to block you from being able to utilize your thought process, such as worry. Now, it's a choice to look at the angle in the right way, to look at the focus that you have inside of yourself and to recognize that is a very special place. One of those places is in the still breath, the center of you, where the actual knowledge is and where you are with you. When you find yourself in meditation and give yourself the ability to focus into who you are and to find yourself, the still breath is very, very important. A lot of times the still breath comes in at the end of a session when you're ready to calm yourself down, when you're ready to give yourself the ability to see if actually what you learned is important. Now, also the exhaling breath is very important with the nervous system to release the energy from the thoughts that you may have, to continuously focus, to bring the cycle together in a totality, the whole self. When we use our whole self in our thought process in a proper angle, we actually do find that meditation is a very special thing and the place inside of ourselves is very special. So as a teacher checking the test, we actually can see that focusing helps the growth of oneself to grow. As we grow inside, our bodies become like clay to the mind. So you can utilize the yellow energy field to overcome things that may stop you from being able to focus. When you use this kind of energy and you start to direct the energy into the right place, the lessons inside of ourselves are very, very important. So meditation gives you the ability to enjoy the inhaling, the center breath, and the exhale. The inhale being the student, the center breath being the classroom or the knowledge inside the classroom being absorbed, and the teacher being the test, the exhaling breath, to understand how they all work together. So when we are able to enjoy the total being, we're able to focus to a point of growth. Meditation can be utilizable in multiple ways. The meditation that we have inside of ourselves is a very special thing. And as we organize our thought processes in the way, we can overcome and we can actually elevate our thoughts to a higher level and give ourselves the ability to recognize that who we are inside is great and the things that we go through are very wonderful. The lessons that we learn from there are very wonderful extraction on our own journeys that give us the ability to enjoy it and to inspire other people. So, of course, as always, the last piece of my speech happens to be with the inspiration. So, I want to inspire you all to recognize that self-growth is very important, that the person we are inside is very important. All the lessons that you've learned are very important. When you're able to remove the emotion from the lesson becomes very important to learn from. So as you become inspired to learn from yourself, you also become the student and the teacher and the classroom. So when your total self and your total being is in place and you are in complete focus, the ability to grow from within yourself comes to you, and the place inside is a place of beauty. The reflection on the outside comes from how well you can focus and how much you know about yourself and about the parts of you that make you the most beautiful reflection of the strength and knowledge that's inside of you. So I want to inspire you all to become determined, to know yourself, to write down the things that make you you, to master something, to focus on one thing at a time, to focus on one task, to do it better than anyone else can do. So that way you can become the best person from the inside out. As the strength builds inside you, the reflection shows on the outside. So if you ask yourself, how can I grow? Look inside oneself, start to study oneself, start to understand the lessons we go through every single day make us beautiful, and that the beauty from within shows outwards. Study the energy fields, the relationship to the body, how the energy fields work. Study how to utilize these energy fields, how different things can actually help to increase your level of understanding of oneself. When growth comes from within you, the strength on the outside comes. And when the strength on the outside comes from the inside, this is known as self-knowledge, and self-knowledge is ultimately discipline, being the student, the classroom, and the teacher. As we learn from who we are inside, I want to inspire you to get into the fact that you are great, that you are beautiful, that the things that you have been through are there for you to learn. I would love to teach you how to gain the knowledge, to extract it, so that way you can overcome things that you might think are impossible. Impossible is just a word. So if you believe that you can focus past the point, that's where the strength inside of you can come to teach you to become the best student and the best teacher of yourself. As you grow inside of yourself, you will see that the growth inside of yourself is great, but you must be honest with yourself to know who you are. So as you find yourself, so the strength will come around you and the universe will bend. As the universe bends, things will start coming your way, and as they come your way, the reflection of the strength inside of yourself will come out. And that's why I always say the strength inside of ourselves, because when one has knowledge and focus, the benefit is discipline. And discipline is the intersection between knowledge and focus. It is the classroom. It's interesting when they teach you a subject, they talk about it being a discipline. So if we look at ourselves in the sense of a discipline, we definitely can see it's very important to have a classroom. One of those ways that I have found for myself has to deal with sitting in a lotus pose, because in the lotus pose I'm able to make sure that I'm focusing at an extent to where I'm putting myself inside the classroom. When we give ourselves the ability to have this kind of time and to learn from ourselves, the strength inside of ourselves becomes the most important thing, and the external becomes the reflection of how you feel inside of you. As you see the beauty inside of yourself, other people recognize that, and they will start to become inspired to find themselves, to become organized inside, to enjoy their path, to enjoy their journey, to gain themselves in such a way that they will understand that they are special inside. Recognizing that we are the best thing that came. The knowledge that we have inside is there for us to learn from, helps us to overcome things that we might think are not able to be done. Our thought process is how well we can focus, and how much knowledge we have is what we do have inside, and how we can learn from who we are and how we can become the best and greatest reflection of who we are inside. I do hope that you all have a blessed day. As always, namaste.